Good morning. Uh, have a new episode of the Gumby Chronicles, and the subject is going to be my tips for the senior outdoor athlete. Uh, First, I'm going to summarize what the three main tips are, and those would be injury free, slow your decline, and improve intelligently. I will go into the detail for those three areas right now, starting with being injury free. Um, One of the main uh, methods preventing injuries is to stretch. We all know that. We've been told that as older athletes, probably back in the old days when we were doing touch your toes and all those prehistoric types of exercises in PE class. Well, it's still true. We need to stretch. We need to keep our muscles as elastic as possible, and the only way to do that is to stretch, take a yoga class, Pilates, all that kind of thing. So you need to bite the bullet. It's boring, I get it, but you need to do it. The second thing to prevent injury is to work on your core. Do your crunches, do your leg lifts, do all those exercises that you can look up on the internet or YouTube and work on your core. It's important. It'll help with your balance. It'll help you be a better mountain biker, a better trail runner, a better climber, better kayaker. You know, we all need that if you want to keep improving. The third thing, the third thing to be injury free is to remember to warm up and warm down. Of course, we all remember when we were kids and we couldn't wait to just start playing ball or going for a run or doing whatever, and we didn't warm up. We just did it, and we certainly didn't warm down. We just, played our sport. As an older athlete, you have to be a little smarter about that because not warming up is just a recipe for pulled muscles, strained ligaments. Uh, you're just not in good balance, so things happen, and those things are almost always bad when you're not warmed up. Conversely, warming down is really important. You want to slowly cool down the muscles, prevent the injuries from sudden stoppage, and so you can play another day. That's pretty important. And lastly, I strongly recommend that you vary your workouts. Don't run every day. Don't lift every day. If you're going to run 3 or 4 days in a row, don't run the same course, whether it's on the road or on the trails. Don't run 3 days of hills in a row. Don't run 3 tempo runs in a row, that type of thing. For weightlifting, if you are really into weightlifting, you already know about going from back to small muscles to legs and that type of thing. I'm not a huge fan of weightlifting except for maintenance and in the off season. But if you're into that and you want to save your back, then vary your workouts. The next key is to slow your decline. And what I'm talking about is not your physical decline because genetically, we don't have a lot of control what our DNA is, but we can slow down our athletic decline. So I would start off by suggesting that as I did in running track, and many of you other runners are familiar with this, is you have an intense, hard day, and you follow that up with at least one, but preferably 2 easy days. On your easy days, do cross training, take walks, do something different so that you're not using the muscles that you were using during the intense day. Give your body a chance to recover. It'll get stronger, I promise. Okay. Second thing is more a mental or philosophical issue is don't hang out with your peers. Don't hang out with the older athletes that often because you won't be challenged like you will if you start riding your bike with younger guys, climbing with younger guys. doing whatever your activity is, do it with the younger guys. They will challenge you. They will definitely be stoked, and they'll bring you along. And it'll be hard, but it'll be worth it because you'll be challenged and you'll improve. Then the last thing would be discard your outdated habits. Think about your routines. Are you doing the same type of training year after year after year after year? It's time to get rid of it. It's time to freshen things up. It's trying to create new challenges for yourself. Same thing goes with equipment. If you've been running in ASICS Cumulus shoes for 20 years, time to change. Get some Hokas, get another brand, but try something different. Okay? Don't use the same gear. Okay? It's not good, particularly if you're talking about shoes. That's how overuse injuries occurs. You're using the same shoe day after day after day after day. Break it up. Switch your climbing shoes too. The same goes. You don't think about it because, oh, I'm just climbing. But the different climbing shoes have different shapes, and it's not good for your foot to be forced into the same shape for every climb. Break it up. Change your mindset. And I mentioned training programs a minute ago. Yeah, break up the training programs. Do some research. Talk to people. Try something different. Okay? All right. And the last key is, you want to improve intelligently. I think one of the ways to do that is to have short-term, medium, and long-term goals. For most of us older guys, the short-term goal is to be breathing when we wake up in the morning. But really write them out and identify things like your weaknesses. It's very important to not keep working on things that you're good at. For myself, it's slopers when I'm climbing. I have a hard time with slopers, and when I'm mountain biking, I have a difficult time often doing steep downhill technical rides on my mountain bike. And so I force myself to work on those and to practice those, because that's the only way I'm going to get better overall as an athlete. So that's important. Figure out what you're not good at and do something about it. And the last thing is that I would suggest take a class, find a mentor, do some research, talk to people, figure out, okay, that kid that I see every day in the climbing gym, he's climbing V8s, V9s pretty smoothly, and I'm struggling on V4s, V5s. Maybe I should watch that guy. Maybe I should ask that guy a few questions. Keep learning. Don't get stagnant. You want to keep improving without getting injured, without slowing your, without slowing, without declining faster than you normally would. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope these tips help you out a little bit. Feel free to make comments below. I've got contact information. Feel free to contact me because I have some other specific routines, training programs, equipment, things like that that I suggest senior athletes use. Thank you very much.